Okay, with our eye controls, we're going to set up a control where we are controlling our eyes with aim constraints. So, and then wherever we put our control is what our character is going to be looking at. So, to do that, we're going to create a few controls here. We'll start with our normal NURB sphere. And we're just going to call this our left eye control. And we're going to group it. And this is our left eye control underscore GRP. Right? And then we're going to take that and we're going to take that group and we're going to snap it up to our eyeball. Way up here. Frame that. And there's our eye. Okay. Our eye joints are oriented to the world as well, which is great. So we know Z is going to be forward no matter what. So we are going to take our control, the group, and we're just going to move the whole thing out a little distance here. Maybe about like that. What is that? 14, 15. In front. And then I'm just going to select the control and I'm going to rotate it. Okay. So that it's nice and straight. And yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe that's a little big. Let's see. What is that? Yeah, maybe we'll make it a little smaller. Like that. All right. Okay, so we have that control. We're actually going to take this same control. We're going to duplicate it. And this is just going to be our eye control in general. So similar to what we did with our brows, where one control is going to control both the left and the right eye. So this is our eye control. And then we're going to make our left eye control group be a child of our eye control. So we'll hit P. It should look like this. And then we are going to duplicate our left eye control group, Control D, and we're going to flip it just like we've done before. So we're going to hit Control G to group it, and we're going to change our scale X to -1 on that group. Oh, you know what I did? This is what I did. Let me undo here. Got a little ahead of myself. Okay, so I have my main eye control. This I need centered. So I'm going to get rid of all of my translate X. 0. There we go. And then what I can do is I can take this and we can shape it. So I am going to make it longer, maybe like that, and a little taller, like that. And then I'll just grab these 2 points, same ones on the other side, and kind of square it out a little bit. Yeah, you know, nice. Okay. Yeah, now that I have that control group centered, now my mirroring will work properly. So now I can take that left eye control group and shift select the main eye control and hit P to parent that. And now I will duplicate this. Left eye, duplicate it. I'm going to group it to itself so it puts its pivot right at the same as its parent. And then I'm going to change my scale X to -1. And there's the other side. So, and then this is going to be our left, or sorry, our right eye orient group. control orient group. And then we just need to rename everything again. So we'll go to modify and search and replace names and do that. And then we'll get rid of that one Maya created. Okay. Those are set. And yeah, maybe I'll make that just a tiny bit smaller. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So we have put our controls directly out in front of our translate Z for our I. So we need to set up an aim constraint that is going to, so what it's going to do is it's going to make the position of this control the rotation of this. And it's always going to look, and we want it to always be looking down our translate Z axis right here. So what we're going to do is we will select our left eye control. We'll shift select our eye joint. And we're going to go to constrain. We're going to go to our aim constraint option box. Here, we're going to keep maintain offset on. And then this is our aim vector. So we have aim. Right now, this is X, Y, and Z. So right now it's saying point aim using X. And then Y is our up vector, and Y is the world up vector. We want to be using Z. So we're going to change our aim. We'll change that to 0 and 1 on the Z channel. And then we're going to select apply. So nothing has happened, as you can see, which is good. It means that it was pointing straight ahead already. But if I grab my control and I move it around, let's turn a little color on. You can see now he's got this lazy eye wandering around. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select our right eye control, shift select our right eye joint. Maybe, there we go. And then we're going to go, we want it down Z. So we're going to go constrain, aim constraint. Same settings should apply. And we'll hit apply. And now we have our eyes set up. So now we have our main control. So we can quickly just grab one, move our eyes around. He's got some real red eyes there, man. And then we can place that, and wherever that is where he will be looking, which is great. The one thing that we want to do is we're going to give the player an option, just like we've done with like our arms and our legs and our head. We've given a world orient option. And sometimes we want this control to follow along with our head, and sometimes we want it to follow along with the world. So we can plant it in a spot and animate, and the eyes will be looking at that one spot no matter what we're doing in our animation. So we're going to grab the main eye control group, and we're going to parent it to the head. So we'll hit shift, select our head control, and hit P to parent it. Now it is parented. See, our functionality still works. Now if we rotate our head, the eyes are going to move with it, which is kind of what you would expect. And then we're going to add an extra attribute. So we're going to select our main control. We're going to go edit, add attribute, and this is going to be another boolean on or off, and we're going to call it world and add. Okay. In order for that to have any sort of functionality, we need to set up a constraint on it. So I'm going to come over to my channel box and hit F to frame that. I'm going to find that group right there, And then underneath that global control, we'll find the world orient group. And we're going to select that. Then control, select our I control group. And we're going to create a parent constraint. Okay. So now it's parented. And just like we did before, we're going to just set up a quick connection to control that constraint. So there's our parent constraint that we had there. So we're going to select this control, and then we can come over and control select the parent constraint node and go up to Windows, General Editors, and our connection editor, and that will populate the I control should be on the left, and the constraint node should be on the right. And we want to come down till we see world, and then come all the way down until we see that world orient group weight 0. And we were going to select that. So now we have a switch that our animators can use to turn that on or off. Right now it is off, so it is going to follow the head. And if we turn it on, it's going to stay in place. So no matter what he does, he's always watching, keeping an eye on you. All right, we will keep that off by default. Okay. And then, yeah, we need to color this. So we'll make the main control yellow, enable overrides, and find our yellow control, and then blue for our left there, and red for our right. There we go. Okay, there's our red. So we have our nice control set up, and we are pretty good to go. Looks great. Okay. The other thing we want to do is we need to set up a blink with our eyelids. So we created these joints and we placed them out here, and we did that on purpose. Mainly because if we create a bunch of joints in one spot, it doesn't allow Maya to utilize tools like we would like it to, like our mirroring function when we're painting weights, things like that. So, but we do actually, we don't want to like just move this down. We actually do want it to orient around where the eye is. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our main eye control, or eye joint. We're going to duplicate it twice. And I'll hit F to frame that. So here now we have the left eye joint 1, left eye joint 2. And we're going to go in and we're going to delete these aim constraints because they don't do anything. They are dead. And I'm going to go in and I'm just going to change the radius of this to be maybe 0.75 so I can see it visually different. And then I'll change this one to be 1. There we go. And then this is going to be our left eyelid low joint. And then this one is going to be our left eyelid upper joint. Okay. And then, because these are already a child of the head, now we're going to change what these are parented to. So we're going to take our left eyelid up, and we are going to parent it to our left eyelid up joint. Oh, whoops. I named the same thing. Sorry. I should have paid attention to that. Always pay attention to your naming conventions. Okay, this is my left eyelid up. You know what? I'm not going to name it joint. I'm just going to leave it left eyelid up and left eyelid low. That way they have unique names, and it'll be easier for me to find. Okay, so left eyelid upper joint, and to my left eyelid up, and I'm going to parent that. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing, my left eyelid low to joint to the left eyelid low, and I'm going to parent that. Okay, so now what we've done is we've created a pivot point for these joints. So now we can rotate this joint, and it's going to move that eyelid around the circumference of our eyeball. And it's going to give us that functionality, which is fantastic. And we've got the same thing with our upper lid, which is most excellent. Okay. Now all we need to do is we just need to set this up so that it will blink when we want it to blink. So a number of ways that we can do that. We could have another control that sits here on the eyelid that you could rotate up and down, and one here that does that. But we're just going to keep things pretty simple and light, and we're just going to add one attribute to control both of those. Okay, so we're going to select our left eye control and our right eye control, and we're going to go edit, add attribute, and this will add it to both of them. And then this will have it be a float, and we will call it blink. And our blink, we're going to do a minimum of -10 and a maximum of 10 with a default of 0. And we're going to say when we're at a value of 10, he's going to have a full blink. When we're at a -10, his eye is going to be like really wide open, like he's really surprised. And we're going to add that. There we go. Okay, so that is on there. Now you can see I can only go as far as 10 or -10, and that should be good enough. So this doesn't give you a ton of control on the eye. It's just a real basic thing, but I wanted to keep things just a little lighter with this, just get the functionality in. So we need to go in and we're going to set up another set driven key for our eye blink. So we're going to select the left eyelid up and the left eyelid low. And with those selected, we're just going to use our rotate Z. And we're going to do edit and set driven key. And that popped it up off screen. Here we go. So here's that. We just need to select our driver, which is going to be this control. So load the driver, and it's going to be our blink. So with the blink selected and left eyelid up, we'll just double check. Oh, look, it's Y. It's the X-axis, not the Z. So I'm going to select both of these and select the rotate X on both of those. And with my blink set to 0 and these all at 0, I can key it. That's my base frame. And then I'm going to go to my left eye control, and I'm going to change the blink to a 10. And I'm going to go here, and my rotate X, I'm going to bring down, sure, maybe like 18. We'll do a whole number, because that way we can match it really easy to the other side. 18, yeah, maybe we'll do 20. All right. We will key that. I just have the left eyelid upper selected. Key that, and then I'll go to my lower one and do the same thing and bring it up. In this case, it's going to be -12. We could go a little more. Well, even more. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Okay. And we will key that. Okay, so now if we go back to our left blink, we're going to see this It's nice little blink. Nothing fancy, just enough to get the job done. Okay, now we need our -10. So we're going to go back. We're going to left our eyelid low, and we will rotate that down. I'm going to get rid of my discrete rotate. And yeah. Yeah, we'll do 15. Ooh, creepy. Okay. And then I'm going to key that. And I'm going to go to my left eyelid up. And I'm going to open that all the way up as well. Yeah, -20. Sure. And we'll key that. Now we have this great creepy eye. Okay, that's just going to give us that nice little subtle blink. We could break that apart even further, and we could add multiple attributes instead of blink. We could do blink up and blink low, and that would give you even more control. And again, the most control would be like adding an actual control here that you could change any of your rotate to kind of shape it. We're not stressed about that. Okay, we will zero that out. Now we have a nice blink action that's happening. We've got to do the same thing on our right side. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to close that for now. And I'm going to duplicate our right eye joint twice. And the first one, I'm going to call my right eyelid up. And the other one, I'm going to call my right eyelid low. And then when we duplicated that, it duplicated its aim constraint node. It doesn't do anything. It just duplicates it because it saw it there. But we're going to select both of those and delete them. We don't need them. We just want those joints. Okay. With those joints, we are going to go to our right eyelid low and then joint, and then select our right eyelid low and parent that, and then do the same thing with the upper lid. Right eyelid upper joint to the right eyelid up, and P to parent it. So we've got that same setup now. Hooray! Okay, we are going to select both of those joints, and we're going to go to, this is on a rotate X, we're going to edit, set driven key, and then we just need to select that control that is the driver, and we're going to key it. And then we can see our values of the other. If we go to 10, we can look really easily. Our lower lid is -15, and our upper lid is 20. So we'll do the same thing on this side. So this was 20, and this one was -15. Okay, so we can select both of those just like this and hit key. And that gets us there, and then we just did the opposite with the -10. Okay, so we'll go in, our -10 selected on the blink, we will go 20, sorry, that is my dog. And we're going to change our right upper lid to -20 to open it up, and our lower lid to 15 to open that up. And we'll select both of these here and click key. And now we have both of those keyed. It's got some real blinking going on here. Okay. So the last thing we want to do to get this all squared away is these are all attributes on that we can find in our graph editor. So I'm going to close this. We're all done with that. And I'm going to select all 4 of these joints because I want to see their graphs. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to go to my general editors and animation editors and go to my graph editor. Pull that up and I can see them all right here. So these are all the keys that are happening and they're easing in and easing out. And I don't want that because if you don't want it in an animation, it's kind of baked into it and you have to do a ton of work to get out of it. I want to select all of these and just select a straight tangent here. So now it's going to be all linear. So I can control my ease in and ease out and not Maya as an animator. Okay. Well, that's it. Eyes are set up. We got blinks going now. We have a follow control moving around. We can adjust one eye individually, then move them all together. We can do like that, rotate the whole thing, and then you have these like crazy swirling eyes. Awesome. And that's it. Our face and eyes are all set up. In our next lesson, we are going to be talking about the shape editor, and we're going to start sculpting some shapes to make Patrick here smile. So, and yeah, and that will be a lot of fun. See you in the next one.